Bitstorm, a comedy game design podcast by two guys who know nothing about comedy nor game design. I'm Ben Slinger. With me, as always, is Trevor Scott.
Hello.
And we have a couple of special guests here. We are recording at the Audio Technica booth on the PAX floor for episode 150. We've been doing this, 150 episodes. It's ridiculous. But we have Ryan Betson from the Pop Culturists here with us.
Hey, man. Thanks for having me.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for joining us. And we also have Tim here, who is an independent developer. He's worked on a bunch of games in different capacities and is also known for working on Yarn Spinner, which is a fantastic tool that Trevor and I are using actually for hooking up yarn to Unity and getting your stuff going quickly. So that's what it did for us.
Oh, that's great. Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Welcome.
So it's fantastic. As you mentioned, like, you guys don't know anything about game design. So it's good to have someone on here that knows what's up.
This is it. We have someone who works in games. It's nice when that happens.
I'll try not to let you down.
No.
That's okay. We'll do enough of the letting down for you.
That was interesting. So, like, I was talking to my wife about coming to PAX and, like, what I'm doing. She's like, I'm doing this show called Bitstorm. It's this random word generator, pitch a game idea. She's like, I don't get what that means. I'm like, well, they pulled two names out of a hat. And I was like, so think, like, wrestling and pastrami. So it's now deli meat wrestling. You know, it's like...
Might be our first... No.
And that's the thing. I'm like, it's called the Deli E, and it's going to be amazing. And she's like, okay, I get it now.
Yeah.
Am I on the right track here?
That's it.
Exactly it.
Trevor, you can explain Click Pitch for everyone listening
Click
at home.
Pitch is a game where we each have a random word generator. Well, Ben and I each have one. On the count of 3, 2, 1, click, we're going to hit refresh. We're going to tell those words to all of us.
The panel.
The panel and the listeners at home. And then we'll come up with a game on that. When it doesn't work, we throw it away and we keep going for about 50 minutes.
Yes, until our lovely engineer here says, stop, you're out of time. So, look, let's get into it. Let's get our first word.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, click. Investigating.
Cell. C-E-L-L, like a prison cell or the cell of a body.
I think body's better because, like, investigating and cells, if it's a prison, is a little, like, not cliche, but, like, it goes together too well. Like,
it's too common.
Like, okay, so it's a cop game. Ooh. Whereas, like, some sort of game where you're investigating inside the body. I'm not sure what you're investigating, but maybe you're some sort of
antibody or...
Oh, yeah. So, my background prior to games is I'm actually a biologist.
Oh, wow.
So, like, that's where my brain straight went to. So I always went to, like, white blood cells, like, going in, sussing out bad shit, like, antibodies, going and finding and sussing it out. It's a very learned game, obviously. It's, like, something you would credit with the knowledge.
Look, what's the bad part of town when you're talking about someone's body that the white blood cells are having to patrol, investigate the crimes?
Infections, cuts, anything like that is probably what they would get to, like, primarily. So, like, horribly cancer, I guess.
I mean, if it's like investigating, wouldn't it be something like a virus that's pretending to be something else?
Virus would be the best answer here.
It's less about, like, directly finding the thing and trying to work out, hang on, I know something got in because shit's getting weird, but, like...
Okay, so...
I could imagine, like, a cut happens and so the antibodies go visit the scene of the crime and it's like, okay, did anyone witness who broke in? Sort of thing.
So, someone broke in. It's the white blood cells will get there like guards, like like they'll do the quick sweep first. They're your tanks coming in, take all the damage, take everybody out, and then you get your
the scene. Yeah.
Then you get your controllers, like your antibodies and stuff, coming in, doing what they need to do.
It's like the feds.
Yeah, and then you get your healers come in and clean it up.
Okay,
but crap, we just nailed it, Bush.
White blood cells and trench coats going around going, who left this adenosine here?
Yeah, they come in, it's like, it seems just like a run-of-the-mill, whatever, paper cut. But then, oh wait, what's this strange infection? Like someone sinister has been here.
This could be like a simulation management game. You got to worry about all the horrible things going on in your body.
Oh, okay. So it's not that you're like playing one of these characters. You're kind of directing it.
Yeah, you're in charge. You're like, okay, so they've got a paper cut and they've also got, some sort of cough or, you can get their flu vaccine. I've got to work out. I've got to manage the different bodies.
Send your troops.
Yeah. Work out who goes where.
The body has an incredible way of identifying what isn't self. Right? So what isn't you? So that's the thing. Maybe it's like, there is something in here that isn't us.
Ooh.
And that's the breaking.
It's getting into horror.
Yeah,
coming from inside the house. Inside the body.
Yeah, I'm
Sort
feeling
of like
this.
alien isolation where you're hiding away from some sort of, I don't know. I don't know enough about the biology.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining this big, like, Ebola virus sort of thing just sneaking down a...
See, viruses themselves look really nasty. So there's like this kind of a shell at the top that holds all their DNA and whatnot. Then they have a small, like, little stem, and then a bunch of little, like, leggy-looking things. It's almost like a
They're
spider.
a perfect video game.
Like, they are
villain.
horrifying to look at. So
Natural villain.
yeah, and using like the alien isolation idea, you're hiding, you see this little thing just like
Skittering past. Oh god, that's creepy. All right, I think on that we need to move on because
3, 2, 1, click.
All right, let's do it. Waiting. Come on, refresh. There we go. Okay, my word is leather.
Oh, it's gonna get fun.
Carpet.
I mean, that's just it. Yeah, done.
Leather carpet, the video game.
I don't know if I got a PR email and it's like, do you want to play leather carpet? I'm like, well, yeah.
Yeah, like,
What is that?
I don't even care what that is. I'm buying it.
Is there a collector's edition? Comes with real leather carpet.
The
comes
real,
with a real leather,
swatch
yeah,
of leather carpet.
Yeah, a swatch of leather carpet. That's awesome.
So, I mean, obviously it'd have to be some sort of house game. Carpet.
I mean, it feels like you may be building a sex dungeon of some sort. It's easily cleaned. Wipes clean.
You would use like plastics and stuff for that.
True.
Yeah, no fluid stick to
That's
leather.
true,
just from what I heard.
But no, I would say some sort of like, weirdly enough, some sort of game where you're actually even maybe upholstering things. Some sort of weirdly calm, meditative game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe in VR, you're sort of like
yeah.
rotating and having to get the seams right.
Actually sewing little...
It's actually a
Putting.
fucking awesome
Yeah.
idea. Because it's the same thing similar to like, like Concrete Genie. That game sounds like a weird combo of words. It's like, leather carpet, you paint the city.
There you go. Well, you can go a narrative route. You like bring some character into it, and where's the leather and the carpet come from? Just like
It's cows that get houses.
wait, I don't think a cow would have leather carpet though, or that's just the connection.
He's
you
the
make.
leather.
He's the leather. They're the
And
leather.
then they
Okay.
bring in the carpet.
right.
Oh, hey, no. Here it is. It's the love story between a cow and a sheep. It's wool carpet and a leather cow.
Oh, so it's not, okay. So it's not about it's not about actual literal carpet.
Yeah.
It's like it's a love story between the cow and the sheep, and we just call it leather carpet. It's like a slightly
Very chill game. Think like Journey or Flow or Flower. In like a nice
like
field.
multiplayer. You're playing a cow and a sheep. You're separated by a fence.
Yeah, and you've got to find ways to get so you can have proper like hardcore leather carpet action. That's what it is.
I don't want to know what that is, actually. I'm good just not...
It's hot, whatever it is. That's all you got to worry about.
Put that in a box.
Put that in a box. Throw it away. Burn it.
Throw away and burn it.
All right, 3, 2, 1, click.
I don't know how we're going to get out of that one.
No,
so
I'm not
Shut and
sure
run.
we're gonna.
Really good name, though, actually.
Yeah. Oh well, here you go. If we want to keep down the sheep route, I got clipping. South. Clipping south.
That's got to be a boat game, then.
Well, I was thinking
okay.
south of the body is
Oh,
clipping.
body hair,
on.
a body hair simulator.
body hair barber.
Barber.
Arbor?
VR barber.
Well, look, in the age of like manscaping and whatnot, it's incredibly important. People know how to do it safely. It's educational.
I mean, are we bringing waxing into this too? You've got to like rip off the strips fast enough.
No, don't put that in VR.
Yeah. That just feels like you're going to have too many people falling over, hurting themselves.
Okay, so it's the South Island of New Zealand.
Okay.
Yep.
Sheep.
All right. Clipping sheep in the South
right,
Island of New
yeah.
Zealand.
Well done.
I like it.
I like it.
All right.
Sort of...
Go the Shears boys.
Yeah,
Get video game.
yeah. I actually think it'd be like a kind of hilarious VR game to try and like use those weird like pop... What are they? I never know what they're called. The
PlayStation
paddle
moves?
things. Yeah.
The Vive hand thingies.
Where you actually like got to like try and shear a VR sheep as quickly as possible.
Oh, one in each hand. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how shearing
Beat
works.
Saber, but
I
for
assume.
sheep.
Yeah, like beat.
Yes.
Yes.
That's
Saber.
the pitch.
Sheep saber.
Beat saber, but for sheep. Sheep
saber.
saber. Sheep saber. Okay, I think it's literal lightsabers then. It's not clippers.
Yeah.
So you can kind of like vroom, vroom down the sides of the sheep.
But if
give
you-
it a spin.
If you go too fast and right down the middle, lamb chops for dinner.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can kill them.
That's true, and like it's a win-win, really. You get wool or you get like food. Like, it's a pretty sweet game.
But-
no fail.
You don't. Well, there is a fail. If you're going for wool and you get blood in the wool, you can't
I mean,
get that
that's-
out.
Yeah.
That's true. You
Oh,
can't
so
get-
is this there's almost a bit of resource management or like supply and demand. Do they want more wool? Do they want more meat? Here comes another sheep. Am I going to shear it or slice it?
Random bit of Star Wars nerdiness. The actual heat of the lightsaber severs all things. There's no blood.
But
That's a well. Oh, I see.
This is just much earlier in
This is like raggedy fucking lightsabers. All right.
it's
raggedy
Lightsaber
lightsabers.
inspired.
It is so lightsabers that are built by humans, and they like if you literally take the safeties on, they go on forever.
No, but I like that balance. It's like, okay, yeah, because you're doing wool, but you want to switch to meat, so you need to you don't want wool in your meat, like you don't want to scrap. So there's almost a cleaning phase in between. So you have to balance up. Okay, the demand for meat is rising. Am I going to kind of clear deck and start doing some meat for a while because there's like a time delay between being able to go back to wool then.
You only have so many sheep, so maybe there are some sheep that only have 3 legs now, just because you need to move. You need to move a little bit of
Good
meat.
point. If you go through all of your sheep too quickly, like
Yeah, so like at the end of the round, there's a breeding phase. Or something. not a.
Brings in leather carpet, and then
No, just mean you
you'll get
build,
the right
you build
sheep
your
out of
sheep
that.
population up a bit.
yeah.
right, are you going to miss a season to get more sheep for next one? Sort of?
Yes,
Risk
yes.
and reward.
That's it,
Yeah.
exactly. And yeah, you've got persistent. They've all got names, right? So if you've cut the leg accidentally off one of your best wool sheeps, come on, sheep. Then old Harry comes through next time. He's still only got that one leg. It might affect the wool production. At what point do you, or the breeding?
But like, the mental health of that sheep? Is
Absolutely.
Like,
Yeah,
he's got to take into account.
yeah,
got deep.
I like it.
Did I like it?
Very deep.
Deep in the sheep.
Cut that out.
That was 2. No.
Clap.
3, 2, 1, click. Interesting. Advert. Crazy. What was the?
Easy advert.
Who's the
Easy John,
Crazy John? Crazy John's a discount whatever.
mobile phones.
Is that what it was? I don't know what I'm thinking of. Anyway, okay, crazy advert. Well, it puts you in mind of that like real car salesman ad or
Like
something.
those weird inflatable wiggly arm things.
Wacky
whatever they're
inflatable arm
called.
tube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Crazy advert. Like,
So are you directing one?
well, that might actually be really cool. Sort of
Add
like
more crazy.
Like that episode of Rick and Morty where it was like all just smash cuts of other universes' TV shows.
Yes.
Like Ants in My Eyes Johnson and
Yeah.
you're trying to make ads.
Realfakedoors.com.
Real fake doors.
So are we adding like random, or maybe you've got a pool of elements that you can kind of
assemble into
an ad, and then it switches to something else, and you've got a particular thing you're trying to sell.
Maybe it's like you can just a bit of commentary on how marketing has changed, over the last 50 years or whatever, with the the rise of the influencer and all that sort of stuff. Maybe you have to look at over time lapse, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
What would be a crazy advert here isn't so crazy anymore. So as you progress and make ads, you have to adapt.
Do it for the time and do it for your audience.
When you start the game, you're doing like crazy newspaper adverts, and then you slowly have to transition. Like, do you stick to that old media? Do you move to the new media?
Yeah. Then you're doing crazy YouTube.
Yeah, and then you're doing like those
ads.
League of Legends ads and stuff on YouTube and things like that.
Yes.
spending forever talking to random people on YouTube trying to get them to go, I personally use X in my product every day.
I was also thinking of like on the other side of the adverts, you've got like maybe a mall spruiker. So in a cooperative, in a competitive multiplayer game in which you've got 4 people in a mall trying to hand out as many of these coupons as possible to.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, like getting up in people's faces, trying not to scare them off.
And you got to constantly manage that bar of them getting angry at you.
Yeah.
And trying to get them over to your counter. So you've got sort of like people that are.
So maybe you're able to
Like, herding them back in.
Spruiking. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you're like also modifying your booth to give different attractions.
Yep.
So you've got to kind of got a level that they'll start moving over to you. So maybe the other person has to like spend some money or spend some resources of some sort to put a big TV up or a flashing sign or some sound effects.
That could really work well in the way of, you start off with a blank
Blank canvas,
So
yep.
You get a couple of people over to you and then you spend, about 10, 15 seconds quickly adding, some sort of neon sign or something like that. that then moves on to...
Yeah, I like that balance, actually. Like, do you spend early after selling some of this stuff to, buy some minor things that might attract more in the short term, or do you save it up so that you can buy one big...
Yeah, so you can buy like a big
fireworks
TV or
display.
something.
Yeah, like
the fireworks.
they can have different, ranges of influence and power of influence. to
And
bring
you
people
target
in.
market as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like,
finding your
what's
demo.
going to work for like Sony or Microsoft's not going to work for some of those poor people in the indie booths. Like, they got to target their market a lot more specifically. Microsoft and Sony can go bigger,
You have to do some marketing research and whatnot, and go find out what that sort of is like. Scale it.
Yeah, I could see that as kind of a bit of a it's almost a co-op management game there.
As long as there's like a rock.
competitive management game.
Sorry, competitive.
Oh, yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes,
As long
competitive.
as there's a rock band style mini game for when you have to flip that sign, like you stand on the street.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. You could hire people too. Like the more people you've got around, the more people are going to come to your stall. Maybe you pay a bit more for someone with the spinning sign or with the mascot suit, or you buy a inflatable wavy arm thing.
A monster. What are they actually been called? Why do they even exist? I refuse to believe they serve any purpose.
I don't know. They attract your attention, I guess, but.
I think those wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube men are just some guy's weird like fever dream that he thought, oh yeah, let's just have this guy waving around and try to get.
I'm sure they were accidentally developed. Accidentally created. And
Someone was badly missshaping a balloon one time.
Yeah.
Anything. All they did is they've just captured someone at a distance going, "Hey, hey!" They put it in plastic. It works.
So it's actually someone's spirit in there, you think?
the poor soul.
Okay, yeah, no, I like that idea though. That's
I really like the idea of like trying to make the most attractive sort of like
and really having
in a
to
PAX-like
compete.
environment. Yeah.
It's the risk versus reward of
Where you spend your money and what you spend it on.
when you spend your money, and can you actually get like other influences to go and sabotage the other.
Okay, yeah, really bring in some competitives for sure.
Run like some real dirty campaigns to like jack with other companies.
Talk crap about the other guys.
Set fire to
Set
the
out fake rumors and stuff.
I think set fire might get you kicked out of whatever expo it's in.
Only if they catch you.
Yeah, that's true. Only if they catch you.
All right, 3, 2, 1, click. Hollow Rise.
I think we're going back to Whack Inflatable Arm Tube Med. Yeah, just
Hello, Rise.
that game already exists. That was here like last year. It was like,
There's a fighting game.
yeah, the fighting
Fatality,
game.
yeah.
So shit.
Well, I went to like a cave, like some sort of cave spelunking with sort of like, I don't know, air rising up from it or something. I don't know, like is there some heat, like a volcano maybe, like a hollow volcano, and something set in a volcano.
Here we go. We've been approved for a sequel to an already known property from was it Red Cherry, Hollow Knight?
Yep.
The rise
Hollow
into
Rise.
becoming Hollow King.
The Rise of Hollow King.
Or it could even be like the sequel, like how did the knight get started? Like what's his origin? What's Hollow Paladin?
Pretty cool, yeah.
Not Paladin, Squire.
Squire, Hollow Squire.
It's a good game too. So
Like I'm sure they weren't allowed, but we can go ask him.
I don't know enough about the Hollow Knight story. How do you get his little pin or whatever?
a long time since I played it.
Yeah.
Same. I played like way back in the day. There you go. That's if we want to nick someone else's IP.
I mean, that's what you do sometimes.
Yeah, we could be WB Montreal to like Rocksteady. We could. Yeah, we got this.
Good deal, terms.
Will they be down with that?
Yeah, they're good guys.
Hollow
Rise.
No, just it sounds so much more impressive than anything I'm coming up with. I feel like anything I'd say would be like, yeah, you're a balloon, and they're like, why would you care?
Well, maybe you
Hollow Rise could be the name of a location.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, Hollow Rise. So it's actually on the top of. Maybe it is on like something on a dormant volcano or something.
I got it.
It's a little
I got it.
village.
Good.
You guys have heard of the conspiracy theory about the Hollow Earth, yeah?
All right.
Yes.
Yes.
It's what lives in the Hollow Earth, and they're making their
coming
way to the
over.
surface.
Okay.
Right.
The twist is you're one of the Hollow Rising.
Oh, that's way
Are
better.
the creature.
Yeah,
Like
and you're gonna
burst-
go in and pillage and shit.
Ooh.
Okay, so you're having to like make your way up from the center of the
So you're like what, like a Godzilla-like sort of monster?
Is
or
it one
you-
creature or are there many of them? Like, is there literally one big curled up Godzilla like thing in the center of our planet that wakes up?
I think many hands make light work.
Okay.
You'd want many
like a
horrible
swarm.
monsters.
Oh god! I just had an image of like when a spider's egg hatches and all the hundreds of spiders come out. That, but our planet.
It could also be a similar feel to like Spore, where you start as something small within the middle of the earth and you grow and you
so
create
you're
this
actually
creature,
growing it.
and then you build that army, and then the final mission is you bursting
through.
just fucking everyone
Well,
up.
that could be interesting actually to have that be the whole game is almost evolving these things in some sense or growing them.
Making horrible monsters to
Yeah.
destroy the earth.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I like the idea of you not knowing that you're actually on Earth. So in the final act, when you break out onto the surface in the
you're in,
middle
like,
of New
Sydney.
York City,
Yeah.
and it's like all of a sudden you see humans, and it's like, oh shit, this is a human killing machine.
And that's an amazing end. You're like, am I the bad guy?
Am I the bad
Are
guy?
we the baddies? Yeah. No, I like that, and it depends. If you've put wings on it, or if you've given it claws, or if you've how many legs you've given it. Then the AI takes over, and this thing animates itself across these cities, attacking. You don't even get to control it. You just set them loose.
Yeah. You just create your evil monster child and then unleash it onto. It's always New York, so unleash it
It
onto.
at least
New
starts
York.
in New York. Yeah.
And that's the other thing. Like, if you don't know that you're creating this evil, race of creatures, army of creatures, and then you lose control at the end, the AI takes over, you're just watching them decimate, and you're like, there is nothing I can do.
What have I done?
Yeah, what have I done?
Yeah.
You've got existential crisis.
Yeah.
I like it.
You can only play it once.
Yeah,
I think that's fine.
It's like-
There's
it's the
nothing
Sixth
wrong with a
Sense.
once-off game.
yeah, it's the Sixth Sense. Once the spoiler's done,
Yeah. But that's fine because then you get people who replay it to try to create the best one, and
Or try to create the worst one and see whether
Or see if they can let.
it was a
see
good
if there's a
ending.
way to let. Yeah, Earth survive.
Work in like what's the word? Coexisting, being nice.
Synergistic.
Oh yeah. Well,
Synergistic. Thank you.
well, probably depends on how big a brain you give them too. Are they actually intelligent in the end, or are they just
Yeah,
killing,
like
killing
ants, like,
machines?
yeah. Ooh,
I really like that idea.
that is
cool.
awesome.
It's fun.
Hollow Rise.
Nice.
Hollow Rise, Humanity Fall.
Oh,
See, you can't say that because then they'd be like, "Yeah, well, I know what the game's about."
That's true.
Well, it's just Hollow Rise, ... and then when you finish
when you've
the game,
finished it, you get back to the
Humanity
titles.
Falls.
You get back to the title screen, and it's like filled it in. Yeah.
and then that's the sequel. Humanity Falls. You're playing as the humans.
Then it's
Oh,
like,
and you're
then it's like,
descending to like take them
Earth
out.
Defense.
Earth Defense Force.
Earth
Yeah,
Defense
yeah,
Force.
yeah. All right, let's do another 3, 2, 1, click.
Disaster.
Failure.
They kind of go hand in hand.
Is this more of a natural disaster thing, or are you trying to?
Is this like a autobiographical game or something for me? Like, what's going on?
I'm thinking
Those
more
words
like,
resonate with you,
yeah,
Ryan.
they're very similar.
I'm thinking like an unnecessarily like complex puzzle game, lots of levers and switches, and you're responsible for preventing a nuclear reactor melting down.
Oh, I like that.
Oh.
That'd be a good
So,
VR
like-
one too.
Yeah, so it might be like Surgeon Simulator style, where everything's intentionally unnecessarily hard, and you got to like flip all the dials in the right orders, and if you do it wrong, you melt down a nuclear.
Well, I love that
reactor.
idea of almost a bit of not quite keep talking and nobody explodes, but what's that other one? The on your phones where you've just kind of got random Space Team, yeah. So you've got this. You're sitting in VR. You've just got all these screens and dials and levers around you. And you get feedback from them when you switch them, but you don't actually have an instruction book. So you're seeing alarms come up, and you've got to like figure out how to stop that alarm, and maybe that makes something worse. And I like that.
I think I like the idea of this game because if you with no instruction booklet, you're forced to try again. It's rewarding failure. It's accepting failure. I think it's a very cool idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I think you could, if you came up with good systems for how the things actually interconnected, but they were in random place, like it was procedurally generated. So there are feedback behind the scenes. There's like feedback between
There's
these
a
different
logical
components.
structure there. But
So it's actually the more you play, it's like, okay, well, I know this. This switch affects this thing, and I don't know if you'd make it consistent between runs, or if it's within a particular run, you have to just learn sort of which thing affects which and how you can connect them.
I think that'd have to be something you'd have to build it first and actually see which feels better.
I think you would,
Prototype that out,
but
no, I really like that idea though.
yeah. And it gets so tense as well because as it's getting closer, the alarms are going, blaring in your ears, there's lights flashing.
It naturally ties itself to cooperative as well. You can just add more panels, more players, chuck them in,
have some communication having to go there with them. They're in different, they can't see each other, but they've got headsets. So they're affecting each other's things. Wait, did you turn the dial to 11? No, what are you doing?
No, I put it on 9. Oh shit.
That's really cool.
It is.
I want to make that game.
Yeah. I'm willing to let somebody else make that game.
I'm willing for anyone to make that game because I want to play it.
Yeah.
And then when you fail, the Hollow rise, and they all come out.
Oh, shit.
It's the prequel.
Creating some video game universe here. It's amazing.
Oh, definitely.
3, 2, 1, click.
Well, here you go. Here's a nicer sort of word. Sharing.
Aww.
Us.
Sharing us.
Aww. Sharing us.
There's an
sharing.
So my mind went to
us. US, yeah.
US.
Okay, cool. That wasn't sharing us like that.
Sharing us.
Very different
well,
game.
it could come into it. No. My thought was something about helping others by sacrificing parts of yourself, like your body or something. So it's maybe a co-op thing, or maybe maybe a co-op thing where it's okay, they need an arm, so you can give up your own arm to give to them, and they can utilize that for something, and then maybe you switch them for a leg, or
and then you become like a three-legged sort of.
Well, I'm thinking like the Igors from Terry Pratchett books, the Discworlds, where they're assembled from multiple people. You're effectively like the Igors, all trying to work together to solve problems, but you actually only got one Igor worth of person between you. So you got to sort of share, but you're hoping that you're actually gonna. It's almost like a prisoner's dilemma. If you give that other guy your arm, then you no longer have your arm, so you're just hoping they're going to give it back.
Well, I also kind of like the idea, almost a Lost Vikings-esque, you've got three characters and they start off with a set number of limbs, and it's not a whole body's worth. You've maybe got a whole body's worth between you, but it's then getting through these levels. You have to give them the 2 arms so they can climb up there, drop 1 arm down to this person to open that, to then let the one that's got 2 legs at the moment, walk through. And sort of having to solve the puzzles in that way and get all your 3.
It's sort of like a puzzle, a logical puzzle game almost.
Yeah.
I was also thinking of a reverse Katamari Damacy.
Ooh. Oh, you're dropping pieces of yourself.
So it's once again, it's that commentary of, trying to help everyone, you'll lose part of yourself. The more you spread yourself thin, the less you'll have for you.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I can picture sort of having to sort of strategically move yourself around as you're dropping parts of yourself to cover, to even if it's just marking off checkpoints or whatever, the metaphor stays true, but
you want to get the best coverage for your availability, effectively.
Yes, yeah. I wonder how you could. I guess what's the end goal? Is it to keep as much of yourself intact while still?
Yeah.
I would say achieve the most coverage. Really, would be the
help
end
everyone
goal. But you have to sort of somehow stay together.
You have to stay together.
I think we've just described a calendar.
Yes. Yeah. We're getting some quite resonant ideas here. We're all. Life. Yeah. All right, let's move on.
Okay, I've got rushing.
Die
rushing.
Die.
I mean, it's got to be some sort of crazy gun game, right? Some sort of ultra-violent gun ballet or something like that.
Die rushing.
Oh yeah, I do like that.
Either that or it's like a die that you roll. I'm not sure about rushing then.
Yeah.
Really quick dice.
Really quick die. It's not about the number. It's how many you can roll in an hour.
Yeah. We try to beat that record. No, okay. I kind of like the idea then of ultra-violent, maybe sort of a horde of something rushing towards you, but the strategy is actually about where you kill them to create piles of their corpses.
Create blockages and whatnot.
Yeah, to sort of then guide the rest of them.
It's like a tower defense game.
Yeah, but you're using the swarm as your lanes.
Yeah.
You can maybe if you use an explosive that clears an area and kind of creates builds a crater. But if you're just using your guns where they fall where they stand, then you can focus on different areas to create those those lanes of bodies.
No idea who that was.
Yeah. Interesting. Just wondering, like, it feels like it'd be really hard to get started in that game. It feels like you'd be dying constantly and you wouldn't understand what you're doing wrong.
True. I wonder if they
get good.
Yeah, I mean, no one wants to be told.
The Dark Souls of tower
No.
defense.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, maybe you start with a bit of terrain or something. Like, maybe it's more about terrain management. So, like, there's areas of rough terrain that they're going to go slower over, and maybe you start and you want to capitalize on that. So you wait until they come over the hill, and then like take out a row of them, and like that slows the rest of them down even more, sort of thing. Meanwhile,
Almost like lemmings.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, well, it could be like they're basically lemmings running to attack you,
Yeah.
which is horrifying. Green,
Little
their little
lemmings.
green
That's-
hair, white faces. Yeah. Yeah. There's something there.
There's something there. Like, that's a
Yeah,
pretty
I mean,
solid
there's something
line.
in there. Yeah. It definitely needs a lot of, like,
Well, because that's the thing. Like,
It needs some iterations, I think. But the idea, the feeling of mowing things down like that,
Yeah.
and you've just got unlimited ammo, you know. Unless you bring in the strategy of that a bit with the ammo, but I think the booth next to us is getting really loud. I don't think that'll come through.
yeah, this happens at any point. They just start yelling shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know what it is. People just hear this hoo-ah. I'm like, shit.
that's what happens when you record on the PAX floor. So
Well, at least this year, credit to Audio Technica for having like the wall. The sound still comes over, but there's actually a wall. this year.
absolutely, yeah.
quieter than I would have suspected.
Yeah, last year was
Great
pretty
little
good.
booth, yeah. I think we've lost control of that one, so let's click again and get something new.
Reluctance.
Basket.
Reluctance.
Basket.
Or the reluctant basket. It's a basket that's really like having a problem.
He
being
just doesn't
a
want
basket.
anything put in
Just
it.
got to keep
yeah.
his lid shut for as long as you can. Reluctant basket.
Reluctant basket. Well, is it someone with a basket who's reluctant to give it up or pass it on?
What you know how there's those games on mobile, right, where it's all about stuff falling from the sky and you have to catch as much as you can.
Yeah.
It's the exact opposite.
So you got to miss as much as you
It's
can.
gonna pour shit down, and you've got to do your best to dodge it.
dodge
You
it, yeah.
can't have anything in your basket.
Okay.
Right.
Why does this person not want these things?
It's a nice basket.
Yeah. Maybe there's something nice in the basket that I don't
Oh,
want
you're trying to
destroyed,
protect
you know,
it.
like,
Okay.
Yeah, like,
or something.
you got, I don't know.
That sounds horrible because like shit would squish those kitties. No,
I was thinking more just like, your grandmother's scones or something like that. You don't want
a
shit
sandwich.
in that. Yeah,
a
no.
nice sandwich in that basket.
Yeah, protect my sandwich. So do you have, that's what it's called, protect my sandwich. Do you have some sort of power-ups or something? Are you like able to deflect these things in any way? I mean, obviously,
Like an umbrella that can take a couple of hits and
Yeah.
then it degrades.
yeah, we could go the real simple kind of arcadey. There doesn't need to be logic around what's falling into this, basket potentially.
Pianos and shit, you know.
Yeah, very cartoony.
And I mean, I like games where, like, there's nothing wrong with games where you have to think. I also like a lot of them. Sometimes it's just nice to play a game where there's no thought required
just
on you
react.
whatsoever.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
I can just play this for an hour and then be done and be like, that was fun.
Yeah.
Like recently, I just played this game where it's all about you jumping through a loop. Like you jump from one trampoline to another trampoline, and then you dunk something into a basketball into a hoop.
Yep.
It's so mindless and beautiful.
It's good for a 5-minute
It's
toilet break.
Yeah, and I think this game can hit that exact same thing.
Yeah.
Just chip through a couple levels, try not to get things in your basket.
Yeah.
You
All
know?
the day, be like, yeah, like pick that up tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Level 323.
Yeah.
It's actually only level 4, but
other
it's just being
baskets.
repeated 13,000 times.
No, it's everything's got a unique things that are falling down and that are in your basket to protect it. Like pops out at the beginning.
And I mean, if you really want to mess with them, you make it so that anything that goes in the basket can then never come out. So eventually, at some point, you can't play the game anymore because the basket's just full.
Oh right, yeah. You don't learn that until
Until you're like 600 levels in, you're like, shit, it's full
my
of
basket's
birds.
full.
Like,
I'm gonna have to rebuy it. It's like downloadable DLC to tip your basket out.
You have like buffs and debuffs. Like debuff makes your basket bigger. Buff makes it a little bit smaller.
Yeah. There's a little bit of like a Peggle aspect
Yeah.
of the things falling. Yeah, that's cool.
All right.
Let's go again.
It's yelling me on my watch.
Come on. Logo.
SAT.
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 Are you on common? Very common.
Common.
Okay, that's all right. Sat logo.
Sat logo. I mean, okay, so this is actually a game idea I had before.
Okay.
That I've always wanted to do, but I've never had the time.
Perfect.
I've always wanted to know how they paint those logos on like football fields for games, so that they look correct.
Oh, the perspective.
You could actually be like I assume that you're on like a little ride on lawnmower sort of thing, and you have to paint the logo correctly so that from like the stadium it looks correct, but. You can't see that because you're just driving in your first person. You just sat down on your little like ride-on lawnmower thing.
This could almost just be almost a bit of a, not quite a fully Zen like puzzle game as such, but it's a bit like again, I'm picturing like an iPad game.
Yeah.
And you're sort of controlling your thing. It's like you turn your paint on and off, different colors at different times as you go across, and then at the end you distort it correctly. Yeah, you get the view from the camera.
Yeah, see what terrible you didn't paint their logo at all, and the team finds you or whatever. I don't know. It's an idea because I was trying to figure out how you actually do it. Like,
it's very much is that forced perspective thing, right? So I think you'd maybe get an actual preview of what you need to paint from the top down or something like that ahead of time, and you'd see kind of the distorted version across the field, and then at the end you get the forced perspective version of
what you actually
here's what you painted.
Yeah, I do like the idea of you don't actually get to see as you're doing it, almost like you're in a first-person view.
Yeah.
So you're having to actually...
I mean, you could always just drive around back again and have a look, but you'd have to somehow map that
well, that's it. I think you've got at least I think you've got at least a limited point of view at any one point. So you can't necessarily see the whole field until you're done.
Yeah. Just you driving around.
Then do we bring in hazards, like people are throwing things at you?
Oh, no, I mean, I think what you do is this naturally lends itself towards, like, little high-speed GIFs of you painting it and then showing the final thing. So it's more of like a social game than necessarily meant to be too challenging.
And I mean, I could see people doing their own designs as well. So, you get that high-speed GIF or whatever of them painting what seems like random lines, and then it reveals itself to be
this gorgeous artwork. Or something
in that forced perspective. That's cool.
Yeah, all I'm imagining is all the people doing like pictures of forced perspectives of dick butt.
Yeah,
I mean, send nudes, all that stuff. Yeah,
I mean,
I'm sure you get a lot of that.
I already like this game. Yeah, I was kind of iffy on it. You just got me. I'm done. How can I pre-order this?
All right, let's go again. Come on.
Have you guys ever happened to double up on words, like ever?
Once.
Yeah. Because like there is like a finite number of words.
Well, how big's the word set though? Like, you can work out the odds.
It's fairly big. It's
early on. We actually we did get quite a few duplicates that would occur. I think it was like we did 2 or 3 times before we found this particular.
Right.
Okay.
This one's been particularly good. I've completely lost internet. Can you get 2 words?
Okay, so we've got gateway, and discarding.
Discarding gateway.
Okay. Well, this could be a like card-based game with discarding. Bring in some card elements. Things like Slay the Spire and that sort of thing have been popular lately. Whether it's a card, like a deck building aspect. Gateway. Maybe you're trying to open.
I think the thing with gateways is they're about letting things in or out. Like that's their job. They petition areas.
Rid of
I'm not quite.
There's good like dichotomy in the name.
Yeah. I mean, but like I do like the idea of card games because I always love both physical card games and also like their digital equivalents.
Well, you can do so much stuff with the digital side of things and add, even if it's just effects or things that you wouldn't want to keep track of manually, but in a game, it's still, you've got the cards.
The difficult part of having, like, so if it's about, like, discarding, as in the big mechanic is pissing off cards, that's very difficult, because I'd be like, fuck it, and throw them all away.
Yeah, I mean,
how do you...
So maybe it's about building up an army that you're sent, like, you've got a certain amount of time or a certain amount of turns to build up your army to then send through a gateway.
Gateway to hell.
There you go. So it's
like Hollow Earth.
Yeah, I thought to the Hollow. That's it. We come back.
Technically, we've just built one awesome fucking game.
One really massive game.
Plus a cow and sheep romance B plot.
That's a side quest. Let's go down that way. But
And the guy in the background playing sheep sabre or whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, I really think like some sort of discarding game, because most card games are about building a deck. Some sort of game where you're trying to get rid of a deck as quickly as possible.
Okay.
Really would be kind of interesting.
So you start with this deck full of random whatever.
Yeah.
You're trying to sort of winnow that down to what you know. Then at the end will be
some sort of, I don't know, judgment phase or something. I'm not quite sure.
It would have to be a 2-phase thing, I think.
Yeah.
I do like the idea of there being like a power-up card in which you can hand like a whole heap of shitty cards to someone else.
Yeah, I mean, well, that already exists in I've forgotten the name of the...
Uno?
Oh, yeah, Uno. Yeah, actually, Uno. Yeah, Uno. Oh, yeah, we've made Uno.
Uno, but with hell monsters.
Yeah. Reskinned Uno.
Yeah.
Draw 4.
Well, I had a version of Uno in high school because we were dumb and stupid. We just had extra cards. They were called the Max Beef card. And all you could do was hit your friend. So, like, you'd be playing this, like, +4, plus, like, shit, Max Beef,
Smack.
yeah. And then you had to pick up 12 cards.
Oh, my God.
It's a very mean game.
Yeah, that would break the game.
I think as soon as you add slapping into any card game, it kind of gets a little out of hand. Yeah.
It's very focused on, like, one person.
Well, that's a feature of this game, but only the VR version.
Right, yeah.
Just virtually slap them.
Yeah, you can scatter their cards.
No, but I do like that idea of having sort of 2 phases. You've almost got like, your army. Well, it's not quite army building, but your army. What's the word? Like finessing, refining. That's what I was trying to think of. You've got your army refining stage, and then you play that deck. Against what you don't necessarily know what the enemy's going to be. You open the gateway, and so maybe you are protecting against like the forces of hell, or vice versa.
And I mean, there is a lot of skill potential in there because if you're watching what the other player's discarding, you can try and see, well, hang on, they're going to be building this type deck, and then I should be. Therefore, should I focus on my original strategy? Should I try and counter them?
So it almost just is a traditional deck building game, except you're not building up the deck across the game. You start with this massive deck.
It's actually a really good idea. The psychology of watching, like every time you discard, you must show what that card is. So therefore, the psychology forever of like, you just got rid of a pretty strong card. What cards do you have left?
Yeah, what are you doing?
Because I'm thinking in Magic, there's been times when someone plays a card into their graveyard, I'm like, shit, like, oh god, I'm screwed.
Off that incredible card. Like I'm
what's
jacked.
happening?
Well, that's it. So if you're trying to focus on certain synergies or certain, strategies, then
or even sacrificing that card to get that like upper hand, to get them rattled. And,
Oh, and I wonder if there's some sort of mechanic around the score or the points of how much you discard then affects something in your like battle phase. I don't know, or if you can, that's how much mana you start with or something, or basically you have literally sacrificed these creatures. And so there is a bit of strategy there. You could actually go in with a really relatively low powered deck, but because you've amassed enough sort of action points or mana,
just buff it like mad. I actually really like that idea.
If all else fails, it's just 52 pickups. Discard.
I'm just imagining going through your deck at the start going, okay, I'll get rid of that card there. Oh, damn it, I shouldn't have got rid of that.
Yeah, and there's the other thing as well.
Well, that's it, Well, because
it's done.
Again, maybe you can't necessarily even see your whole deck from the beginning. You're getting like a series of them showing up, and so you're having to kind of winnow it down from make a bunch of decisions. That might make it less, too.
I think you
random.
then lose the oh wait, I think I know what you're trying to do over here. If you got rid of those two cards, you're clearly going to be building for a whatever deck. I'm sure Lingo would grow up around.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
It would just be overwhelming to get like this whole deck, like this whole deck worth of cards in front of you, and just like, okay, how do I figure out what to get rid of? You definitely have a mode which is just throw out, this many random cards and start the real game.
I should not have put in those 13 expansions.
I mean, that's a legitimate criticism against games like Hearthstone, though, that after a while, you've got to remember so much stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's really actually hard to do.
No, in general, though, I think that's cool.
I like the idea.
Discarding down to your army. Makes sense. All right. Moving on. We always get through so many on the...
I reckon
multiple
we've
guests.
just got time for one more.
One more?
Let's make this.
Well, we'll see when they give us the wind-up, but we're getting close. Suspicion.
Stream.
Suspicion.
Stream or Steam?
Stream.
Oh,
As in-
Dream.
No, stream. As
in a
in
river
Oh,
stream?
like river
or-
stream.
As in, like, Twitch streaming. I mean, this is...
I think in the current Twitch market, there are many suspicious streams. Throwing cats and shit, you know.
I mean, I actually do like the idea of doing something about Twitch. Like, that's the thing I found most interesting about Borderlands 3. Like, the villains are basically just Twitch streamers.
Oh, really? Okay.
Like,
I hated it.
That's clearly what they're designed to be making fun of.
I'm picturing a game, and I haven't played it yet, but we go back to this occasionally because the concept is just really good. Did you ever play Her Story?
Yep.
Which is where you're like, basically sifting through these video files to unravel a mystery. Maybe it's that, but you have to watch, like, switch between multiple Twitch streams.
Here it is. Everyone talks about how the privacy policy, you know, like the terms of service or whatever for Twitch is like all ambiguous and shit. You're the person that has to go through all those reported streams.
You have to watch and see if they're...
you have to do. Does it technically break?
Oh man!
But I mean, that's just the over. That's like not even the overarching story.
That's like
that's
the
just
setup.
That's the setup.
Yeah.
Right,
And then
okay.
in there
Then
you
it
start.
turns into like a Her Story sort of thing.
So there are some things that you may have disregarded. Little did you realise there may have been like a motor.
Yeah.
I would never be game enough to buy that game, and on that initial description, like to be like, oh great, just going to be looking at hours of Nazis, like
And like it's horrible. And then at the end you're like. You hear people being like, "No, you need to play that game." Like there is something
You
really
would, well, that's it. And I think there's almost a bit of a Papers, Please in there as well because I think it's a set narrative, but it's under the guise of this is your day job,
something boring
and
tedious.
Exactly. You go through and you start getting these suspicions. You start seeing the connections between the different streamers, or they guest on each other's streams, or
Illuminati thread.
Well, who knows how deep it goes. They're owned literally by the richest company in the world. There's definitely corruption there.
If that's not suspicious,
I'm not sure we could go literally with Twitch. They might sue the shit out of us.
You would make up a stream.
Yeah, it's like
cringe.
Justin.tv.
Cringe. Sign into come watch my cringe stream.
Yeah. Hey guys, I'm just going to go cringe for a couple of hours.
That's what I say after watching a Twitch stream.
Curl up into a ball and cry.
Cringe partner.
Oh yeah, an official cringe partner.
Hey, did you go to the cringe party last
night? Cringe party
lounge?
Yeah.
I never go to the cringe parties. They're always too loud.
And see, after a cringe party, you go home and Twitch for a while.
It's definitely. I like that. Actually.
Yeah, I think as a narrative kind of thing that would, and in this like it's so. Yeah, you would absolutely, and some good actors too. Like I'm picturing full motion video, right?
I miss FMV games. What did they do to offend everyone?
Yeah, like Erica was amazing. Like most recently, so I'm down for some more FMV. Yeah. But no, your Papers, Please angle, on point. Man.
I like it.
I
mean, that's probably my favorite idea so far, I reckon.
You actually asked him what did FMV games do, to deserve being on the pile of horribleness. I look at some of the early Sierra games like Phantasmagoria and Gabriel Knight 2. They were fucking horrible.
But I mean,
they lost the
idea.
Side of things.
Yeah.
But I mean, like if you look at any artistic medium as a whole, you can say it's bad because 90% of things are bad. Like that's just true. Like it doesn't matter what you pick books. 90% of books are bad.
I think it is about, and at risk to go into game critique on our improv game design podcast. I think it is about using the medium to its fullest. And I think something like Her Story does that really well, where you're not expecting then to have the same choices in a full motion video game as you do in a regular 3D game.
And because the problem with FMV, when the gameplay is involved within that video, it kind of causes that problem. But with this being essentially you are watching a select videos, there's almost like a yes or no button in front of you. So the gameplay is just watching it and consuming it rather than directly being involved with it.
Yeah. You're not expecting it to react to you.
Exactly.
In any meaningful way. I mean, I actually think the UI would actually be similar to Her Story, just like you wouldn't be loading VHSs in. Because for a start, kids wouldn't even know what that is anymore. But yeah, you'd just be like selecting the streams from your folder, and then.
And I wonder if you even have to make kind of like the Papers, Please, where you have to select the rule that it's breaking, that particular piece of information is breaking. You may be creating a connection between the streams and the streamers in some way.
Yeah, but then using that AI learning, the game starts to pick up on what you consider breaking the rules.
Right. Okay. Because you're still having to sit there and go. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yes, maybe it starts self-learning and identifying what you believe is breaking the rules. So then on top of that, the
AI developer here is cringing because he's like, how is that going to work?
Oh, no. It's not like... So there's a big problem with AI that people don't fully understand in that if you give it a problem, it will give you an answer.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean the answer's good.
No, that's where I'm going with here. The whole point of that is the AI breaks. Like the AI is working, yes or no. It's very simple, right?
Yeah.
So like when you find those grey area terms of service breaks, and you go, no, that's okay. Then the AI goes, well, that's okay. So the next time it comes up, and the game can be like, well, why didn't you pull that? Like
it starts like pointing out your hypocrisies.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So how come he said that was okay, but that wasn't?
I think this would be something that would be great to fake.
Yeah.
A human sitting down and writing.
Yes.
Trust me, if you give it to an AI, it'll just do something so weird. It'll just be like, oh, great, it thinks all cats are fans. Like,
all cats are mans. That's a T-shirt too. All cats are mans. You just got a cat with human legs.
I'm thinking like the muscle bunny from the man bun from what's her name?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Forgot her name.
I know the one. All right. Well, I think we are getting the wind up. Yes. So, yeah.
He yelled at me about Persona before, so I got to listen to it.
So we're going to finish up. Look, I'd like to say thank you to Tim and to Ryan for joining us this week.
Oh, thanks for having me.
We'll go first with Tim. Do you want to just give our audience your sort of social media and let them know how they can find out more about you?
Hi, I'm Tim. I guess probably the best place to get in contact with me or see what I do is Twitter, so at THE_MCJONES.
There you go. Ryan?
If you want to follow me, I'm on social medias at HaggardMC. That's HAGGARDMC. As you guys mentioned, I'm the founder of the Pop Culturists. Yeah, sorry. I'm very parched. It's been 2 hours of non-stop talking. It's been tough. So we have two shows primarily. We have a PlayStation show called For the Players, the Pop Culturist PlayStation podcast, and we also have a wrestling show, The Young and the Wrestlers. If that's, for some reason, if you have those exact two interests, holy shit, are we perfect for you.
And you can find us online at podchaser.com/bitstorm. We're also part of the 8-Bit Network, so go to 8bit.net and check out the wonderful plethora of other great podcasts there. Trevor, do the other things that we do.
The other things, we also would like you to check out the AGPN, the Australasian Gaming Podcast Network. Whole heap of awesome podcasters, all just wanting to help each other out.
Yeah, man.
Ryan's group is part of them.
Check out the party mode stream by the time you listen to this.
Hopefully it'll be up on Cringe, so you guys can check it out. We're all good.
Yeah. And finally, we'd like to thank Crew at Us for the use of the song Mount Defiance off of the album Containment Failure.
That's it. So thank you again for joining us this week on Bitstorm. I'm Ben Slinger.
I'm Tim Nugent.
I'm Ryan Betson.
And I'm Trevor Scott.
And like, subscribe, and follow us on Cringe.